Hello, my name is Dan, and I bought this Kingston USB micro SD reader. So it is a micro SD card reader. You just plug in the card on this side. It's not very visible. Just a second. Yeah, you can see. You just put your card in and plug it in your USB if you want to use it as USB stick, because for example in my case I want to use my laptop has a card reader, so I can put the card in the adapter and into the card reader of the laptop, as you can see here. I'll show you because it's not really visible. So the card appears in my computer. Removable disk. Open folder to view files, for example, some pictures inside. Size 59.4 gigabytes. So it is a 64 gigabytes card, but it only shows 59. This happens in all cases, so if you have a 64 gigabyte card, you're gonna have just 59, because the difference is here. If you right click on it and properties, you will see that you actually have 64 gigabytes, but 64 gigabytes means in this case it's 63 millions 831 no, sorry, 63 billions 831 millions 15,424 bytes. So that means about 63 gigabytes 831, and the rest that is written down here. So you have 64 gigabytes, but if you transfer bytes in gigabytes, then it's gonna show on as 59.4 only instead of 63, because 1 billion bytes is not equal to 1 gigabyte, so that's why it is a bit less. So I will just eject this card to safely remove it. I'll remove it from here, and I will use it in my new card reader that I have just received today. Just make sure you plug it in properly and easily, don't rush. Okay, it's plugged in. When I received it, at the beginning I used it, it worked. I created a recovery drive, and that is about 8 gigabytes to create a recovery drive. And when I took it out from my computer, I noticed it's a bit hot. So I just remembered about what I saw on internet, others saying that after copying very large files or large amount of files, not necessarily large files, you can copy small files, but in large amount, like 1000 small files. So when you copy a large amount of data on them and from them on your computer, and do it without doing a break, like copy at least 10 gigabytes for test. The drive itself, I call it a drive or whatever it is, they usually fail. Some of them are not very good and they usually fail. So if you ever buy any of this or something similar, make sure you first, before copying your important data, first copy just, I don't know, 10 gigabytes of movies on this card, and after the transfer is complete of data from your computer to this card reader and on your memory card, just copy those back to your computer. So it will be about 20 gigabytes copied to and from this card reader. So in this case, in this way you make sure that it is any good and it will not stop working when you're gonna need it most, and or when you're gonna need to copy your data from your SD card, and for example maybe you don't have a SD card reader as I do. So in that case you're really gonna have a very big headache, because you're gonna have to go to a shop and buy another, or maybe it's night time, you are in a big emergency, you need your data and you cannot access it. You'll have to go all over your friends to ask them for a USB reader or micro SD reader, sorry. And so always try to copy 10 gigabytes on this device, on your card actually, that is on the inside this device. So use it to copy 10 gigabytes on it and from it back to your computer, as just as a test, as an endurance test. So you will make sure that it holds, it's durable, you know. Now I'll just plug it in with the card that I plugged in earlier in the card reader, because after I copied, so yeah, it's in. But as you can see, my computer doesn't say anything. As when you usually insert it and it's working, it usually makes that connecting USB sound. I'll try another USB port. So it's properly pushed, nothing. After I copy, I didn't finish what I was saying at the beginning. I created a recovery drive, it did work. I copied 8 gigabytes from my computer to on this SD card, and I noticed it's kind of hot. I let it cool down for about 2 minutes, and I just plugged it back in and copied and restarted the procedure of creating a recovery drive. So at about half of the second recovery drive creation process, the drive failed. I got an error on my screen telling me that the recovery was, the drive creation was interrupted, and this as micro SD card reader was not showing up in my computer anymore. I just plugged it out and plugged it back in. It did work, and now doesn't work at all, so it's just completely dead. So one more time. USB port, yeah. I want to show you that it is a good USB port, because I want to show this to the seller as well. So I don't want him to think that I'm a scammer, you know, that I'm trying to get my money back from, because I did send him a message telling him that it's not working. So now I am proving that it is much better, so the seller will not believe that you are a scammer. So because too many scammers just pretend, oh my god, my card reader is not working, give me my money back, and they just get their money back and the card reader is actually working or things like this. It's full of those kind of people on the internet. I don't understand what are they winning, because something like this it's about 2-3 pounds, so you don't get too much if you do that. You just get yourself a bad rep, especially if you're selling on any site like eBay or Amazon. So better for 2-3 pounds. Stop scamming and be honest. This is for some of you who know that you usually do that. So now I just took out the card from the USB reader. I will put it back in my SD adapter and in my SD card reader, and straight away it's recognized, yeah, it's here. As you can see, and one more time. So see, my memory card is working, just reader is not working. At the beginning, when I first used the reader, it was even being recognized by computer without card inside, so if I was just plug it in, it was just working straight, appearing in my computer as removable drive, just that it was not having any memory space left. I will eject my SD card so you don't make a confusion between my SD card. So properly pushed inside. Let's check it in the other port. Properly pushed in the port, nothing. I have one more USB port here. I'll test it in this one as well. So as you can see, still nothing. Yeah, nothing. So it is completely dead after copying 12 gigabytes of data. So I do suggest you, to everyone who watches this video, to first test it by copying 20 gigabytes of data to be more sure. If the device can handle 20 gigabytes copied on it and from it to computer, then it means it is a good quality USB reader. Even with USB memory sticks, you can do the same. Test them first before copying your important data, because if it stops working, you're gonna be very, very upset for losing your data, and maybe you will be unable to recover it. So better test them before copying important data through them. That's all for now. See you next time. Thanks for watching. Share and subscribe. Bye.